Hey, good afternoon, everybody. And let me be the first to say to you, happy 4th of July. So, here we are, man. We have already started summer. Summer is here. It's on top of us, and we are ready to celebrate with the rest of you, hopefully here today. But today we're going to be talking about you and celebrating you and what you're going to be able to hopefully accomplish here with us here at American Business System. So today, what we're going to be talking about is why would I want to be an independent business owner in the first place? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So I hope that you come ready and prepared and hopefully got some great questions to ask me during the webinar today. Now, as I've said in the past, when we're having these webinars that are topical type of webinars, we try to keep them within about 30 minutes long so that when we put them over on the YouTube channel, it kind of helps everybody not to feel like they have to watch the entire hour. But by the time we get down to the bottom, if we've got some time, I'm going to stay with you a little while for those that are here live with me today to get some questions answered for you. So hopefully everybody's able to hear me this afternoon. Looks like we got a pretty good crowd, even for the day before the 4th of July. So, and that's why we're doing this today. It's the middle of the year. We've just gone over the last 6 months. We've made it all the way from January to June. Here we are in the last half of the year, going in from July to December. And folks, if you're looking to get started in your own business, there's not a better time to start thinking independently, obviously, than now, as we're celebrating the independence here in America here. So again, happy 4th of July to everybody. And let's get started as we branch off into the webinar today. So if you'll do me a favor, if you'll find your Q&A box and then just type in from where you're calling in from today, I'd love to hear and see where everybody is from this here in America here. So go ahead and find that Q&A box. Go ahead and start typing me in where you're located. You can put the city and the state. That's fine. You can just put the state if you'd like to. It doesn't matter to me. I just like to know that, number one, that I'm being heard. And number two, I just kind of like to know where everybody's from. You know what? I thought about this before, and I've shared with sometimes, but I always ask you from where you guys are calling in from. I'm actually here in the Texas area. We're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That's where our headquarters of American Business System is located anyway. So we're all up here in the great state of Texas here. So we got some folks from Arizona. Hopefully it is not too hot for where you are there in Arizona. So we got Jacqueline from Tucson, Arizona. We got Christine, looks like from Charlotte, North Carolina. Billy is from Michigan. So I appreciate everybody joining in. There's a few more folks here. I see your name that you've kind of dialed in with us. So if you don't mind typing in there as well. We got Milton from Atlanta, Georgia. So here we got almost coast to coast. We just need one person from California. Pop in there. That'd be great to see you. All right. Let me get started here. Let me introduce myself. My name's Eric Auger. I'll be the one hosting the webinar for you this afternoon. It's a pleasure to be able to be with you this afternoon and to share the knowledge that I have of American business systems. First one I'm going to share with you is a little bit of the history behind American business systems. It is in its 30th year, but actually the business in of itself started way before then, because it actually started with this family right here. As you can see, that's Patrick, Linda, Adam, and Sarah there whenever everybody was young back then. And you obviously can kind of tell by the clothes there. But gosh, this all started back in early 1970s or late 70s, early 80s there with Patrick and Linda. Linda was actually asked to do some medical billing for somebody. And then what happened there is that people and friends and family members started asking Patrick and Linda, but how are you guys making it here? Working from home now. And they started sharing their success. And then what happened out of that was birth American Business Systems. And then Patrick has given the reins over to Adam Phillips. Adam is our CEO. Adam's doing a great job of leading this company. Not only is he leading this company, but he's also leading out in writing material. He has co-authored a book with Dr. Vicki Rackner. Now, let me pause here real quickly and let you know that next Wednesday, a week from today, I'm actually going to be interviewing Dr. Vicki Rackner. You're going to want to be here on the webinar. So don't forget that. I'm actually going to mention her name here in a little bit. And I'll share a little bit about her. But I'm talking about Adam here. He has written some books. He's also a contributing editor, guest editor, or guest, article writer for a magazine And this magazine is called the Billing and Coding Magazine, Advantage Magazine. It goes throughout, obviously, all through the United States. Adam wrote an article because we kept getting so many questions about artificial intelligence. So Adam wrote an article about that. And then he and I interviewed him a few months back going over that. So if you're interested in wondering if of AI going to be taking over medical billing, folks, you need to go not only read this article, but go back and listen to the interview that I did with Adam a few months back. Adam is also the founder of an organization called MIRMA. MIRMA is the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. It is the largest independent group of independent medical billers throughout the United States. It is this organization that will actually certify you once you've completed the American Business Systems training. MIRMA is the people that's going to certify you as a certified medical revenue manager, so that when you're out there and you're sharing your story and you're telling people about what kind of business you're in, people want to know what kind of education you've received, you can say that you got it from MIRMA. And MIRMA, again, is the Medical Revenue Management Association of America. So let me get started on the topic today. So let's like Lisa, from San Antonio, Texas. Got another Texan here, so I appreciate that. And again, some folks that are on here, don't hesitate to kind of just put over there that you're here with us this afternoon. So anyway, let's talk about why would I want to be an independent business owner. Now, this webinar is going to be a lot different from the past webinars that we've done, simply because most of them are kind of topical about how do I do marketing versus what kind of training am I going to get, and then all these other different things. But today I wanted to kind of take a little bit step back from everything about American business systems and really make it more about you and what you're thinking today. And so I came across that I felt like there's about 5 top reasons why anybody would want to become independently working for themselves as an entrepreneur. I'll give you a little bit of history about myself. I have spent the majority of my career working for myself. And I've done that in a lot of different areas. I got to meet Patrick Phillips, and then Patrick encouraged me to jump on board with them. And through that, I became even more independent on some of the things that we were doing here. But I really kind of learned a great deal from Patrick. And what he shared with me is some of what I think some of the best top 5 reasons that anybody would ever want to work for themselves. The number 1 reason is this one. The secret to happiness is freedom. It's the freedom that you're going to have here. Now, folks, what we're again doing right now is really just kind of stepping back a little bit from ABS and some of the things that I'm going to get into, some of the stuff with American Business Systems, but I really want you to understand the kind of freedom. And then it says the secret to freedom is courage. And folks, listen, I remember the first time that I ever stepped out on my own and said, gosh, leaving a full-time job that's Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, what you think of as a secured type paycheck that goes with that, only to find out that there was one time in my life that what I thought was very secure wasn't very secure. Whenever they tell you that they're downsizing, or in the cases that we're having right now is that there's just no room for you anymore, or for whatever reason. And then you're trapped, and you have no freedom. You're trying to figure out what you're going to do next. And so, folks, you may be in that middle part right now where you might be working full time, and you're trying to think, gosh, what do I need to get out of that rat race? What do I need to do to get, because I really want this type of freedom. So what kind of freedom are we talking about? Well, we're talking about the freedom that you can make as much as you want to, because through American Business Systems, we have what we consider some of the best multi-income streams that you can actually have. Because, folks, not only can you make money with the medical billing and the medical billing part of it, but then there's some parts of it, if anybody's ever been out there with us and watched some of our other webinars that we've done, there are some other opportunities for you to make money. One of them is coding. You don't have to be a coder to make money at coding, because we already have those solutions for you to be able to share that with those doctors. There's some other opportunities that go along with what's called virtual care, or virtual which you're really watching the patients away from the doctor's office. So there's a lot of great opportunities just outside of medical billing, but it's all within healthcare that we've got different income streams that you can make for. And that's what you're going to want, because where one is pumping, the other one's going to keep pumping along there. And you want those multiple income streams. What I have found out by a lot of our business owners here at American Business Systems, getting in you call it kind of like the gateway thing to get into healthcare is the medical billing. And then once you get into this healthcare industry, you're going to find out that there is a lot of different areas that you can make money at as well and still do the medical billing. So this is what you're going to want. You want to have the freedom to be able to branch off yourself, do other different things. Gosh, if you'd go back and listen to some of our interviews that we have with some of our folks here at American Business Systems who are independent medical billing companies, you're going to find out that they've got a lot of freedom, more freedom than they've ever had in their career. So that's what you're going to be looking for. To me, that's one of the first things I ever learned from Patrick. That's one of the things that you need to learn. And that is the freedom that comes along from working for yourself. The second thing is the control that you're going to have over your life. We think about freedom, but along with that comes freedom. But I think it also comes with a lot of responsibility. But again, you can only control two things in life. Number one, your attitude, and number two, your actions. And so, folks, some of you are just waiting to get started here with American Business Systems, and we're here to help you. Because we're here, as you can see here, we hope that we can help give you what you need for some of your attitudes. And we've got an action plans that you'll see here as we go through the webinar here in just a moment. I'm going to share with you some of the action plans that we already have built in for you already. But really what you want is control in your life. Like I said, freedom comes with responsibility, but that responsibility is part of your control of what you're able to control and what you're able to do. Some of that control will go into number 3, and that is your financial freedom. And as you can see here, and this is from Robert Kiyosaki. Again, this is something, if you've never read any of Kiyosaki's information, you're going to want to get to some of his stuff, because he'll tell you financial freedom is the freedom from fear. And folks, that's where we are today. Listen, we even though that we're celebrating independence here tomorrow, we love our independence here that we have in America, but we might not feel like we've got the freedom or the freedom from fear. And that is because we feel like we're trying to make it from paycheck to paycheck. And what if we're able to help you, give you that opportunity that not only can you just work for one doctor, but maybe 2 doctors and then 3 doctors. And what I'm going to tell you right now, without trying to go through all the numbers right now, if you're doing billing at least with 2 to 3 doctors, not only I know that you will probably replace your current income that you've got right now, but you will probably go another 20 to 30% of what you're making currently with just 2 to 3 doctors. I did about a couple of weeks ago, just really how much you can make while you're doing medical billing. Go back and watch that video. If you want to watch it on a future webinar that we're going to be doing, we will be doing that again here, probably in the next 4 to 6 weeks here. But really get you what you're going to want to have here again, as one of the top reasons for you to work for yourself, is the opportunity to have this type of financial freedom. Because again, freedom from financial issues gives you freedom from fear. And that's from Robert Kiyosaki. Listen, I'm going to preface this and say this, so first of all, I am not an attorney and I am not a CPA, and I would be the last person that I'd want you to come to for tax information. But what I can tell you from experience of being as an entrepreneur, that as an entrepreneur, you're going to have more tax advantages than you've ever thought of. Folks, listen, there are a ton of types of books out there, but I know that you can get back with your CPA and some of an attorney, and they will help coach you along the way. If you need some help of knowing what kinds of people to talk with, we're here to help you. You can actually get with your person here, the sales rep that you're working here at American Business Systems, and they'll be able to kind of point you into some of the directions there. But for us and for those that are independent, and you've got your own entrepreneur, you work for yourself, and if you've ever done it for yourself already, you already know the opportunities and the advantages that you have, having all these tax advantages that you can take. So Because whenever you got that cash flow starting to come in, you want to make sure that that's tagged properly so that you only get taxed on really part of what you need to get on. And I'm telling you, there's some great tax advantages being able to work for yourself. And then lastly, working from home. Folks, if there's one thing that we look back over the last couple of years and what a pandemic did, it got a lot of people thinking about working from home. And I tell you, there's nothing better than being able to work from home. Number one, you don't have to fight the traffic. Now, sometimes you might have to leave your house to go into traffic, but listen, you go back up to the whole control thing. You may not have to leave your house at 7 o'clock in the morning and be stuck in traffic. You may set up all of your appointments to go see your doctors at 10 or 11 o'clock or maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon and be able to get in and out, but gives you the freedom to be able to go do these things and work from home. It also gives you the advantage, again, to be able to multiply your marketing out there. And we're going to talk about what it means to multiply your marketing here very shortly on some upcoming webinars. So be watching for those buzzwords of multiplying your marketing out there in your world of where you live. But those are some of the top 5 things and top 5 reasons that is an advantage for you to be able to work for yourself. Now, I'm going to switch gears just a little bit, and now I'm going to talk. These are the advantages that come along being able to independently work for yourself. And again, let me remind you that over 30 years, American Business Systems have helped literally hundreds of people, hundreds of families, just like you, husbands and wives and business partners and family members and friends all come together to be able to capitalize on these 5 advantages. But now I'm going to start taking it down to you. Here's where the rubber meets the road right now. And folks, I'm not asking you for your money today. I'm not going down that path. But what I want to do is ask this question. How do you know if you're ready to start working for yourself? Folks, that's the question that you need to ask yourself. You may love all of 5 of those different reasons why you would want to work for yourself. Who wouldn't want to take advantage of those top 5 things that I just shared with you on being able to work for yourself? So again, we have to step back and look at ourselves in the mirror and simply ask this question. And that's a question I'm asking everybody that's on the webinar today. How do you know if you're ready to start working for yourself? Because a lot of you are asking us, are we the right company for you? I believe that we are, because I've seen the success that we've had with so many people who have become independent billing companies. And literally, we're talking in the hundreds of those over those 30 years. And just to let you know, I've been around a little half of that 30 years here at American Business Systems. And I've seen a lot of people become very, very well taking advantage of all 5 of those things that we just talked about. But now let's talk again about you. How do we know if you're ready to start working for yourself? So the first thing I want to focus on or think about it is you have to become focused and committed. Daniel Cormier says this: work ethic, confidence, a laser focus and commitment to accomplish a goal that most people can never imagine. Folks, if one thing I've learned here over my years of being here at American Business Systems is that everybody here at ABS has a focused commitment or confidence of work ethics that is beyond what you would find out with any other type of organization. Everything from our support, or starting here with your sales reps that you're working with their work ethics are second to none. And they are confident about what they're able to do, but it's because we are focused and we have a commitment to helping folks like yourself accomplish goals that people could never imagine. And you need to have that same type of focus and commitment. You don't need to find yourself distracted. And what I mean by that is that we have taken a lot of the distractions out of helping you get things started. Number one, you don't have to worry about building a website from scratch. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to get distracted on that. Folks, I've seen so many people who want to start a business and get so bogged down on making sure that they have the right things to say on their website that they never get it up and they never get going. So we've helped remove that because we actually have just templates that you have to choose from. And then the other thing that you just need to give us is your logo and the name of your company. And again, we're going to help you through all of that. The other things that you don't need to be distracted about is the marketing material that you would have to put together, or even the marketing plan. We've got all of that for you. All you need to take is everything that ABS has for you and then take those and focus in on what you need to do. I'll give you one last example here. Once you get started here with American Business Systems, you're going to go through 10 modules of training. When you get through those 10 modules of training, or as you go through each of those modules of training, you need to do exactly what your instructor is telling you to do. Stay focused on what the tasks that are given to you and commit to what you're going to find out. And if you'll put both of those together, what we have found is that folks that do that end up getting their first client usually within the first 6 months of them starting with us. Sometimes it can be quicker than that. I say 6 months is an average because it's going to take some time for you to build some confidence out there and also that people feel confident with you. But we've got that program all together for you. So like I said, I've seen some folks get so focused and so committed that we've seen people get their first clients within the first 30 to 60 days. But folks, you can do this again as long as you stay focused and committed on what you want to do for yourself. How else do you know if you're ready to get started working for yourself? You have this type of attitude. If failure is not an option, neither is success. And what we mean by that is failure is not an option. People always ask us or have asked me, and you probably asked your sales rep here already, and those that are listening as a recording, you're probably asked not only us or somebody else, has anybody failed at this? And we're going to tell you, yes, they have failed because they've stopped. They've just stopped. They've lost. I'll kind of go back over here. They've lost their focus and their commitment, and because they've lost their focus and commitment, they've failed in completing the task. And a lot of times, people fail at this because they fail to finish the things that we tell you that you need to do. And the reason I know that is if you go back and listen to some of the interviews that we've had with some of our most successful business owners here, is that they'll tell you the same thing. I went through that class. I was told what to do. I thought I knew it a little bit better than they, and I could figure out because I have some marketing or some sales experience from the back, and I brought it into here, and I found out that it just didn't work. And so what I had to do, I had to get back with them and start all over again and do it exactly the way ABS has taught you how to do this. Folks, we haven't been around for 30 years because we're failures. We've been around here for 30 years because we are successful in training people to get them to a part of themselves being successful. Because we see failure is not an option. We will train you and help keep supporting you long after you've gone through that initial 10 modules of training. Folks, if you need to be retrained on something, get back with us because we have that type of commitment for you, that failure is not an option. Because we know that neither is success. Success is just not an option. This is something that we are going to work together on. So know that you've got that commitment. The other thing is that you have to have a valuable product to market type of solution, a viable type of product to solution, product to market solution. So there's a solution to every problem. I just have to find the right solution to fix the problem. That's our motto here. We've got the solutions for every problem that every doctor has. So how do you know if you're ready to work for yourself? Because you've got the right solutions to take to market. That's what we're talking about here. So what I want to do here is to tell you that ABS has that product to market solution. And I'm going to share some of those with you as we kind of start looking at wrapping up here, at least at the bottom of the hour. And I see that there's some questions that are coming in. I'm waiting to get to the end here. So just bear with me. I haven't forgotten about the questions that have come in. And matter of fact, I'm going to ask you to ask me some more questions as we go through here. But what you need to know here, if you're going to be focused and committed, and you know that failure is not an option, and then through this, you're going to know that you're going to have the right products to take to the market because those products have solutions in them. So what's the first thing you're going to need to know? First thing you're going to need to know is you got to figure out what the doctor's paying, and you need to solve it. Now, again, I'm going to pause here real quickly just to let everybody know, even those that are listening to recorded, that next Wednesday, I am going to be doing a webinar interview with Dr. Vicki Rackner. Dr. Vicki Rackner knows that doctor's pain. She's going to tell her story next Wednesday. So you're going to want to mark that down on your calendar and not miss next Wednesday. But how do we find the doctor's pain and how do we solve it? Well, again, we can't just go walking into a doctor's office and say, doctor, I know where you're hurting. Doctors don't go around department stores or places where you go, you're sitting at the restaurant and tapping you on the shoulder and say, hey, I know that you've got a problem. I think you need to come see me. Here's my card and I'll see you tomorrow. Doctors don't do that. And neither will we. We don't want you going to doctor's office and knocking on their doors and telling them, hey, doctor, we know that you've got a problem and we've got the solutions to solve it. So now you're probably asking, well, how do we find out about doctors' pains and how do we know about solving it? Well, again, as I mentioned already, that Dr. Vicki Rackner is going to be with me next week, and she's going to be breaking this down for us. She's written this book called The Myth of the Rich Doctors. Doctors want what is their financial health? What does it look like? So there's a little clip out of this book here. It says, physicians in private practice walk away from an average of 30% of their income. So I'm telling you right now what their pain problem is. Imagine that you're wanting to make $100,000 every single year. Now we know that doctors are going to make more than that, but let's just say, because that's a good, six-figure income. Who doesn't want to make $100,000 a year? However, knowing that from the very beginning of the year, that you know that you can make $100,000 a year, but all you're going to really get out of it is 70. I mean, you're going to, who on the webinar today is okay of leaving 30 grand on the table all the time? Well, that's what's happening with doctors currently. And that's happening year after year after year. And for those that are on the webinar today, listening to this, if you're listening to this between the months of July and August coming up here, now is the time where doctors are starting to see, how have I been doing for the last 6 months? And what am I going to do differently in the next 6 months? Because this is their part where they're doing their evaluations right now. They're trying to figure out how are we doing on cash flow? How's that coming along with us? Is cash flow doing pretty well? And they're typically going to find out going, it's not doing as well as I thought. So outsourcing your medical billing could bring claim rejection rates to as low to 2 to 5%. This may be the fastest and easy way to increase your cash flow. Now, this is a doctor telling this to another doctor. That's what you're seeing right here. Again, I'm going to be interviewing Dr. Vicki Rackner next week. Now, I'm going to, at the end of the webinar, so stick with me. There's a couple of July 4th giveaways I'm going to give to you today. So hang in there. All right. Second thing is that in the new Thriving Medical Practice that was co-authored by Patrick Phillips and Vicki Rackner, we have a whole chapter here that talks about these claims that get rejected. And again, rejections have held steady at about 30% industry-wise. That means across the board. Some is going to be a little higher, some might be a little bit lower, but you can even find out here that this one doctor was losing up to 71% of her gross income every single year. So folks, this is real information that I'm sharing with you. We have the products to take that 30% gap there that they keep getting hit over the head with, of losing money because they can't get the claims through properly. We're going to reduce that down from 30% down to at least to 2%. That's the average of our American business systems business owners right now. So that means you've added another 28,000. If we're just talking that 100,000 and we take 30,000 out of that, and we get it down to less than 2%, that means we've added another $28,000 to that doctor's revenue. And that is significant. And really, we're not doing much more than what anybody else is, except we've got a way that's built into our system that can check every single claim for possible rejections before that ever leaves. And you can fix that before it gets sent off to these insurance companies for payment. Okay? That's what you got to need to know. So how are we going to do that? Because again, there is what's called this revenue cycle management. And this is the flow chart that we're going to be using and teaching you through your that 10 module week, 10 modules. That's probably going to take you about 2.5 weeks to get through. But you're going to learn about that. You're going to learn about the iClaim system, the EMRX system, the clearinghouse that's actually built inside that allows us to do what I just shared with you. And then obviously it's got its own patient portal. So iClaim again has this incredible power behind it that when we are doing claims, we can see things. And I'm going to show you one little thing here. I can't do a full demonstration, but what I want to show you right now is just some screenshots of some things that happen because of human errors. Again, this is quoted from the New Thriving Medical Practice. Because first of all, we already know that claims get sent out and there's going to be some problems out there, and those claims are going to get rejected and get sent back. And again, 50% of those sometimes never get refiled. That's why doctors lose so much money. But it's right here at the very beginning where people are trying to type in names and phone numbers and addresses and making sure you got the Medicare number put in there right, or the patient's Aetna insurance health information in there right. Whatever insurance company it is, you can see probably one of the biggest areas of rejections comes from human error mistakes. So let me take you quickly, watch this, folks. We're about to get wrapped up here. I'm going to share with you how this iClaim system does something that no other systems can do. So you see right here where it says eligibility request. I just kind of put that arrow right there. Right there, we can click on that when this system's up live and we got a doctor in there here, and then we've got all of the insurance companies that he or she actually takes in their clinic. We can click on that eligibility request. We can pull up the payer for this patient, and then in this case, it's United Healthcare. We're going to search it by their subscriber and their date of birth. So we're going to, in this instance, it's United Healthcare. We're going to put that subscriber ID along with their date of birth. And then we're going to put the provider's ID type and their number all in there. And with one click of a button, we're going to go out to United Healthcare. Okay, you follow me? So we're in our iClaim system, but electronically we're going out to United Healthcare, and we have found this patient, Isabella Stevens. And so what we want to do is, yeah, that's her. That's who it is. And we can say, Mrs. Stevens, are you at, or have you been a subscriber? And this is your date of birth, and your plan began, April 1st, 2013. Yep, that's me. That's who I am. Okay, and I see all your co-pays here. The only last thing I need to do, I don't have to type in their first name, their last name, their membership ID. All I got to do is click this button right here where it says create chart, and I pull it in and I save those changes. Because where am I getting all this information from? I'm actually getting it from United Healthcare. Now think about that, folks. There's not a doctor has seen anything like that. That's what's making us so different than anybody else out there. This is why that we can share with you those top 5 reasons why you want to be independently as an entrepreneur. You want to work for yourself, and we feel like we've got the solution. This is it. We get to demonstrate this all the time to doctors. And that's part of what you're getting from us here at American Business Systems. So we have all these different products. Some of you want to do some dental billing. We've got DentaMax, part of that. Some of you want to help the doctors with their accounts receivables. We've got Quick Collect and Choice Pay. Those that really want to really get in with these doctors, and you want to do something a little bit more high tech, down at the very bottom, you see their virtual care. This is where, again, is using devices such as blood pressure cuffs and glucometers and pulse oximeters out there, and the patients can take all their readings at home, and then it automatically goes up there for the doctor. And yes, you get to do the billing for that, because the doctor's going to make some money on doing that without that patient ever having to come to the doctor's office. But the doctor's making money on it, you're making money on it, and then you're making money on doing the billing for that. Those are just some of the topics there of what you're able to do. Remember, I said we have all these different suites of services here. There's nobody else out there that has the types of products to market solutions like we have here. And then we've got the business tools for you to be able to utilize. We've got a Facebook page that, matter of fact, I'm on that Facebook page. I see it all the time, and I see people posting saying, hey, hey, I'm doing some marketing campaign for this type of a doctor. I need to know if anybody else out there in the ABS land has had done anything like that, and I just need some pointers. Can you help me? These are business tools within our system, within who we are here at American Business Systems, that's going to be able to help you. Plus, we've got all the support that you're going to need here. We have a complete 24-hour, 7-day-a-week online support system that all you got to do is type in and search what you're looking for, and it's there. Plus, during the week and when we're not on during the time of holidays, you could call our number and reach somebody to coach you along the way or support you live at any given time here. We've got all of that for you. And as I mentioned to you earlier about doing a demonstration for those doctors, kind of that little demonstration I just did for you, how about we do this live for you? Again, that's included in your investment with you here at American Business Systems. You never pay us another dime for us to do a Zoom meeting with you and the doctor that you're prospecting and showing them the iClaim system. That's how we can get people to get on board with you for the first 30, 60, 90 days. And you don't know a clue about it yet. But we're here to support you and help you get there as quickly as possible. Plus, we have all of your proposals, all your contracts already pre-written. You got everything that you need. I've already shared with you about Myrma, that whole group right there. So hopefully what I've been able to do within this a little bit over 30 minutes long that we've been able to spend some time together is why would I want to become an independent business owner? I hope that I've been able to share with you top 5 reasons why you should. But then more importantly, are you ready? Are you ready to take that step?